Hi, this is Mellissa and Jenise with Beautifully Broken Authentically You Ministries, and we are outside. It's so beautiful out.
It is.
What do you think, Jenise? We're gonna do a podcast outside.
I mean, that's what we should do. We should, because we're doing it right now. But also, it's really beautiful. Like, can you hear the water? Can you hear it?
Oh gosh, here we go. Yeah, so I'm excited how God speaks to us in so many different places, and we just had to come out of our comfort zone and not be on our traditional spots on the couch and come outside and see what He wants to speak to us in His creation. Which
Right.
is
We
amazing.
wanted to invite you out into creation with us.
So, what's He talking to you today about? Or this week, or last week? I don't know. Like in general?
In general, okay. In general, I just see His love everywhere.
Agree.
I see Him working in so many ways, just personally, and like even just in groups. So like even with us, or like separately, like I just see Him working in my life. I see Him working in the lives of the people that I'm around. And how can you not see Him in creation?
I know. Yeah, it's so amazing.
So how does it make you feel being out in creation while doing a podcast?
I mean, I love it. I feel like God just has just quieted my soul and my spirit and just given me new things to say. And it just like
It
when
sparks
we're
a new
when
thing.
we're in a different environment, sometimes we think differently, you know? Like we can get so caught up in mundane things, mundane things. How do you say that? I don't even know.
Mundane, I believe.
That we forget like the beauty of what's all around us, and
Right.
like the different scenarios, different places there are, you know. It's just amazing. I love it's so pretty outside. I'm in awe, actually.
Me too. I just, it's incredible. It's very beautiful.
Yes.
And it's kind of like the closer you are to creation, like this is probably how like Adam and Eve felt, right? Like
Yeah.
all this beautiful stuff for me.
Yes. But of course we always want more. Like Adam and Eve. Did God really say not to touch that tree? Not to eat from that tree?
That's a really good point.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
so that
technically,
means
yes.
I'm going to go touch and eat from that tree because God said no. And I just want to know everything that God knows.
It's really interesting you say that, because as it was revealed to me when I was reading is why do you think that they ate the apple? Do you think it was just because they were disobeying?
I think they were curious and they wanted to have answers to everything. They didn't want to be, I think that they felt disconnected to God in some way, and they wanted to feel closer, and they wanted to feel more of a connection, not realizing we often do the same thing, is that it's going to pull them farther away.
Right.
And it's going to disconnect the relationship that they have with Him. And they don't any longer get to enjoy that beautiful garden that was created just for them.
Right. Well, I mean, if you think, if you read it, it talks about like He created all of the earth, right? And then He created Adam, and then He created Eve, and blah blah blah, right? But among the creation, like it wasn't very long. It was the very next chapter where, you know, they're deceived into eating the apple. So I don't believe that God was surprised by that.
Right.
Because why would they get upset of eating the apple if did they have a relationship with God at that point? Why would they disobey God? Why were they afraid of God, hiding in the garden after the fact? Why would you hide from someone that you're...
That's interesting. It's an interesting thought to contemplate, you know, like, because we don't really know how long.
Right, we don't know how long, but in the story itself, it skips over all the in-betweens. So we don't know if they had a relationship or they didn't have a relationship with God. They just knew, hey, this dude created me and he wants a relationship with me. But what I took away from that was they're hiding from him because they disobeyed him, because they don't have a relationship with him, or they have a very acquaintance-like relationship with him, where they are not aware of how much he actually loves them.
Right.
Was God being mean by not letting them eat from that tree?
I mean, absolutely not. He was definitely not being mean. We don't serve a mean God. We have to know all the characteristics of him.
Right. But a lot of people take that story out of context.
Yeah, of course.
Because it wasn't that God was angry that they ate the apple. He wanted to protect them from the knowledge of knowing that if you do that, you are going to change the way things are. You're going to know things that you shouldn't know. I just created you. You did not experience anything yet.
Right.
It's kind of like a parent when they're mentoring their child or training their child, like, don't touch that, that's hot. But they're going to touch it anyway. He's not surprised by that.
Yeah.
He's not surprised that they're going to eat from the apple.
Yeah. That actually brings me to what I wanted to talk a little bit about, which is obedience.
Okay.
And it is like how God tells us to do things and we don't want to do them.
That is accurate.
And then, you know, like we can absolutely think like, oh, that he's a mean God, like he doesn't care. But I think the first thing is to know the characteristics of God. Like he's not mean. He wants the best for you in obedience. Right. Our obedience to him is him protecting us and him wanting the best for us. You know?
So his obedience, or our submission to his obedience, is more for him to protect and defend us.
Yes.
Whereas the world puts its own twist on it and says, oh, I want to control you.
Right.
I want to make you do this. I want to force you into this, because that's what a physical world does.
Yes.
But a spiritual world is different.
Yes.
A spiritual world is like, I love you so much that I'm willing to do this for you, but you got to give me some time to show you.
Right, absolutely.
Like, if you take too many steps ahead of me, you're not going to hear my voice.
Yeah. So actually, that is an interesting point, because I did have that written down too, is that God, for me, in the season of life that I'm in right now, like, I need to seriously obey every single thing that he asks me. But the reason I trust him in doing that is because over the past 14 years, I have seen his nothing but faithfulness.
Right.
You know, so even though yesterday he called me to make a phone call that I didn't want to make, I absolutely did not want to make it. I pleaded with him and I said, God, I don't want to do this. Can I procrastinate? Can I put this off? Do I have to do this today? And he was like, yeah, you absolutely have to. Good talk, Mellissa. Good talk. But you know what? I'm not, you know, my faithfulness, you know how I work in your life, and I'm going to persist and persist and persist. And so here he is, pursuing. Yeah. And I'm saying, oh God. And then finally after, but for me, it was 10 minutes yesterday. I was like, okay, God.
It doesn't take you long.
But I know like 14 years ago, it was not 10 minutes.
Right. Like, I've been struggling the same thing. Like, and mine was over something so stupid. So stupid. Like, I don't even need this thing, but I wanted this thing. And I had this thing. And then I found myself like, really, God? I mean, I think I should be able to have it. Like,
yeah, how often
I think I deserve it.
How often do we like try to plead with him? Are you sure, God?
And
I mean,
I'm
come
like,
on.
I'll wait until tomorrow, and then you can just make sure that you're sure before I'm sure. You know? And so for a couple of days, I'm like, I already know the answer. I already know what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to return it. But that's not the point. The point is that I was like, God, I felt like him in the garden. I mean, this is a really bad example of he's doing a sacrificial love thing and I'm doing a sacrificial selfish thing. But like, I really felt like I was in the garden. Like, God, are you sure? Like, if there's a way, could you make me keep it?
And he's like,
and
absolutely
it's
not.
So laughable sometimes, the things we do for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I was like, okay, I already
And
know.
like the excuses that we make, or like the things that we tell ourselves that are going to
or the
make
things
it okay.
that we think we need to make. Anyway, learned a lesson from that too.
Oh yes, I've been definitely learning lots of lessons in this season that God has me in right now, and I'm like, just like solely relying on Him, because He's like, what I'm gonna do in your life, Mellissa, like, you are not going to be able to take any sort of credit for it. So I need you to be obedient to me, so I can show you the rules of this world. But remember, I don't play by the rules.
Yep.
And He's like, but by you being obedient and making that phone call and doing the things that I'm asking you to do that you don't want to do, people are going to have no doubt that it has to be only God, God, because there's no other way.
Right. And I think that's the whole point of like what we do, what we stand for, is like we don't want the credit. We don't need the credit. God doesn't need us, but He wants us.
Right.
You know, He wants a relationship with us. Like, and like when we turn our backs on Him, that is so sad for Him. You know, and He consistently shows up time after time after time for us. We are just not willing to see it.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, wow, God. And that's the whole point, is that like whatever happens, we know that God has got this.
Yes.
You know, like it's not going to be anything that we have or anything that we do. It's going to be all God, and nobody could say, oh, it was them.
Oh, she must have did this, or oh, she must have done that, or this is why it happened. And people can make all of the excuses and assumptions in the world, and you're like, no, actually none of that happened. And I'm telling you, because I did the work, I did the research, I did everything I was supposed to do, but I was obedient. And it's out of obedience that God is showing me the love that He is right now.
Absolutely. And I think prayer is a big part of that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's not anything that we don't pray about.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the conversation that we can have with God.
I know.
Remember that email that I read you?
Yes. That was so good.
It was hilarious.
It was, because it's a normal thing to want to, you know, like when the world tells you something that the world would tell you, like, oh, that's not possible. It's like, but do you know my God? Let me talk to God. I'll see if He changed His mind, but I'm pretty sure you're wrong.
And that was literally in my email today to somebody, to like the representative that I had to talk to. I was like, I've already had that conversation with God, and He told me this, but I will see if he you know, I'll see what He says. And
it's really funny because of course people will understand that faith part of it. But at the same time, it's like, seriously, people need to pay more attention. It's more about God and the Spirit and being faith-filled than it is about what the world says you can and can't do.
Yeah.
Because if God can speak us into existence, He can take care of anything. He doesn't need us.
Yeah, it's like when the world tells me I can't, I'm definitely more determined to do it. And to say, yeah, guess what? God's on my side and He can. Yeah. I can't, but He can.
Yeah. Like,
I know a guy. I got a guy.
Right? I say that all the time. I'm like, I can't, but I do know someone who can.
Let me tell you about him.
Wait, can I tell you about my Jesus?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I know. Subtle, right? Really subtle. I'm kidding.
All right. Well, that was an awesome podcast. I'm excited. This night is beautiful. So let's go enjoy the rest of it. Enjoy God's creation. And we hope you do the same thing. And thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, have a great evening. We'll talk to you soon.